Hi, I'm the Realtor Evan, and we're back for week 2 of this little mini series we're putting together to talk about what's going on in this market because of coronavirus, which doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon, and what you can expect on both the buyer side and the seller side. So last week we talked about the buyer side. Today we're going to talk about 3 things that you can expect as a seller when you're putting your house on the market in today's climate. So the first thing that you should expect as a seller is to understand that there are no open houses in the state of California right now. All showings have to be done by appointment only. So that means that your agent's going to have to put your house on the market and going to be receiving a number of calls from agents and scheduling those times. Those appointments are going to have to be made perhaps even on the fly. The house always needs to be ready to be shown at a moment's notice. We usually try to schedule, or at least I do, try to schedule things with 24 hours notice, but hey, sometimes people just find your property and they're really looking for a property because there's a lot of competition. Buyers are having a hard time getting their hands on a property these days, and if they see a property they like, they want to go and see it right then and there. So always be ready at a moment's notice. There are some ways of circumventing the open houses, and what people have been known to do is hold a day of scheduled appointments. So it's not an open house, but it is a block of time where their appointments are scheduled back to back so that we can sort of have a little bit easier of a time with you as the seller and your schedule. So these are just a couple of things that are going on with the scheduling that you should be aware of, but know that as of right now, always be ready to be available to step out of the house and have your house be shown at an hour's notice or 24 hours notice. The second thing that you should understand with the seller's market and this competition that's going on is that you as the seller are in control of the terms right now. Because there's less inventory on the market than there are a number of buyers wanting to buy properties, you get to be in control. You know, there is this old adage that says the first offer is the best offer, and in a lot of cases that is true. But just because that might be the case doesn't necessarily mean you have to accept the terms on the first offer. Don't be afraid to counter. Don't be afraid to go up against that offer that comes in or even wait for the second or third offer to come in to see if you can get your terms. You might be able to get multiple offers coming in and start putting those bids up against each other and let that bidding war happen. You might be able to counter and get more favorable terms even if there isn't multiple offers coming in, because it is such a fierce market out there and buyers are having a hard time. So try to take advantage of the fact that it is a seller's market and do your best to get the terms that you want. And the third thing that I would say to be aware of are the number of days that you're on market, right? So this all depends on a lot of factors, and certainly it depends a lot on price, because typically from what I'm seeing, anything above $3 million might be sitting a little bit longer on the market. But at the same time, houses in the $800,000 range in certain areas are maybe even not even on the market for a couple days. Like that might be flying off the shelf. So it really depends on the situation. But as a seller, that doesn't mean you should just let it sit on the market and let your inventory get stale. But just to keep that in mind, that there is no set period right now for average days on market, because there are a lot of factors that are playing into how many days a house is expected to be sitting there. Of course, again, just like the buyer's side, a lot of this depends on the sub-market. Make sure you talk to your agent so you know what you should expect when you're putting your house on the market in this day and age. I hope that's helpful, and I hope to see you next week. I'm the Realtor Evan. Have a good day.